What's poppin', McAdoo here. We all know the scary stories about websites that are haunted or they're controlled by the government, and if you go on it, all your data is taken and people follow you and scary stuff happens, but they're all fake. They're all Reddit stories, they're all creepypastas. They're not real. But what if I told you that there was one that was real, and it scared the life of me as a child? My name is McKaylee Duty, and today we're going to be talking about Gamevial Games, the website that haunts me to this day. So I'm about to take you guys all the way back to 2003, and this was when the famous Gamevial Games website came out. Gamevial Games is a British game publisher and developer that was started in 2003 and took flight this same year. They were located in the United Kingdom, but they were played worldwide, and they used Adobe Flash Player. I'm sure you guys all know this. It's from cool math games. It's from every online game we ever played as a child. It's everywhere. So Gamevial had a lot of success throughout the years. In 2005, the famous Fly Like a Bird came out, and I guarantee every last one of you has either heard of this game or played it. This game was fire. I was a huge simp for flight simulation games. I've always loved the concept of flight, and ever since I was a kid, I always played bird or dragon games, and Gamevial was a hotspot for that. They had so many games. One of them being Fly Like a Bird, where you are essentially a bird that flies around a different map and you poop on people to get points, you hatch eggs, and you chat with people. Gamevial then developed Fly Like a Bird 2 in 2008 and continued to create more games like Space Jet, Fly Like a Bird 3, Russia's Army, and the most recent Life. A lot of people like this game too. So Gamevial on social media was a huge meme at the time. They would post all sorts of silly stuff, and even their descriptions for games was really silly, but their lighthearted humor could not make up for their cryptic game styles. So in the early 2000s, 3D games was not a thing, and for good reason. Computers couldn't develop it very well, and everything ended up looking like the back rooms. It was very uncanny, it was very spooky. But Gamevial said, we're pushing the boundaries, we're gonna make some of these games and give them to the public, aka 5-year-olds on their parents' computers, which was me. I found Gamevial around the release of Fly Like a Bird 3, which I was 7 when it came out, and I was like, this is the greatest game ever. So I went to their website and I started looking, and when I tell you, this was a cult creating games for the public. That's exactly what it was. It was so creepy. So Fly Like a Bird is very simple. You fly around, but something's off. There's this Minecraft fog covering everything. The people walk strangely like a Sims character from 2001. The birds even flap weird. Everything about it is just so abnormal. It's so backroom feeling. It's so uncanny valley, and it's terrifying. But I didn't care at the time because this was state of the art. Looking back now though, I'm like, holy crap, why did I play that? So my first realization that Gamevial was literally run by a cult is when I started playing Night of the Dragons. This is a very simple game, just like Fly Like a Bird, where instead of a bird, you are a knight, and you go around killing dragons, but you can become a dragon. Now, this was epic to me. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. But the strange thing is, when you die, the screen goes back to the title screen, which is a medieval picture of a dragon, and this growling, monstery dragon sound plays, and it is terrifying. It scared the crap. Every time I heard it, I literally jumped in my seat. I'm like, I'm just supposed to be a dragon. Like, no, none of that. This only got worse when I played the Gamevial lobby game. So I remember when I clicked the website, the logo on the website, it would take me to the actual website game. It was like a walk around lobby of the actual website. It was like the entrance to all their games. I remember clicking this image and going to a 3D world. And this was no ordinary 3D world. This was worse than the back rooms. It was a temple, a monk temple. There was ominous monk humming music playing, and there were a ton of monks with their faces covered. It was completely black, and they had these red cloaks on, and they were just humming. They were just humming. And in the very center of this room was the Gamevial symbol, which looks like a cult in and of itself. There was that symbol in the middle of the room as if they were like worshiping it. And there were like these arched doorways, and there was like scary fire, like scary 3D fire at the end of these hallways. I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna die, and this is just a video game. And I was a child. Now, I think the worst thing that ever happened to me on this website was when I was playing a war game. It was like a World War I game where I believe you were a dog in an airplane and you had to shoot down enemies. I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately, but you were a pilot and you were shooting down enemies in your Red Baron, in your little World War I airplane. You would fly around, and then when you died, when you crashed, it sounded like a Japanese tornado siren or like a tsunami siren. It sounded like the world was ending. You would hit the ground, you would start convulsing, and like the camera would lose focus, it would start spinning, and then this sound would play and then it would cut off, and that would be it. And I was like, that's when I realized that something is up with this website. There's plenty of other games like the butterfly game and Life, but they're just very average. I haven't noticed anything off about them, but they're definitely odd. There's always that strange early 2000s 3D game feel to it where you just feel like it's off. And there's other games like Chicken Through Time, which is a chicken that goes through time. That's just, something's off about it. Two other honorable mentions that I haven't played but I've heard a lot about is the Egyptian game Ra and Graying Out, which Graying Out, as I've seen, is a 3D game where you go around and find mysteries and then put them together to understand the story. But apparently like these entities can come and kill you. And just watching this gameplay of this game is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like, horror games today don't compare to how terrifying that game looks. The camera's stationary and you watch this guy run around, these pictures pop up in front of you and the room's all grayed out. Even the soundtrack just makes me want to cry. So the Egyptian game Ra kind of has the same feel. It's just very uncanny. I haven't played it like I said, but I've seen people play it and it's just off. These people just shift around like this. They say things, they chant things. Everything is just scary. And I wish that Flash Player didn't go down so I could explore this website more. There's literally not a trace of this website. It's almost like I dreamt it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I found out that this was all a dream, that I hallucinated this whole website fake. But the only thing keeping me sane is knowing that there are Redditors and different people who've also played or seen these games. Unfortunately, Gamevial went down in 2015 due to the loss of funding, and ever since, they've been gone, especially since Flash Player is gone now. They had some of their games on app stores and even Steam, but there's almost nothing left of them. But I'm never gonna forget this website. Scariest thing I've ever seen. There are so many terrifying games. Don't get me wrong, state of the art, and it's really cool that they supported developers, but I wouldn't be surprised if this website became part of an ARG one day, or if it was funded by a cult. Even though this website is terrifying, it was part of my childhood and it introduced me to multiplayer games and just chat rooms and interacting with other people. So if you guys have any memories from this, let me know in the comments. DM me, call me, and give me more evidence that this is not fake and it's not just in my head, like it was genuinely scary. Big thank you, like I said, to Izzy's and all the other Redditors and websites such as James Flowerdew for providing all the images and information on this, as well as Wikipedia for having my back. If you guys know anything about this website or even know if there's a mock-up of this website, please let me know, because I desperately want to access it. Thanks guys. Have a good night.